Hello gamers, and welcome to a special preview video for Regiments, the upcoming real-time strategy game set in 1989 by Bird's Eye Games and published by Microprose. As you can see at the bottom right, this is a preview version. Things are subject to change and the game will actually be released on the 16th of August. So I've asked at several places if you've got any questions concerning the game that I could maybe address or things I could show. And on the Microprose Discord in the Regiments chat, Ruck1445 would like or asked me to show the map Grasleben because he thinks that it's kind of like recreated in Arma 3's Global Mobilization C DLC, and he would like to know how they compare. So I thought I'd do like a special video on all the maps. Grasleben is actually the first map shown. So what I'll do is I'll just show you the map and then go out of the game and show you the next map. So first map is Grasleben. And yeah, I can't pause because I'm recording my display, otherwise I would have to show you my entire desktop. So this is Grasleben, the map that 1445, Ruck 1445 was interested in. So we are seeing it from the Allied perspective. We had two deployment zones here, and there must be some here in the north. And yeah, you get the central forest with a hill. Many minor settlements, forest areas and stuff, and then you get a circle here and a circle here, and that's the two other areas in which or around which the objectives can spawn. So basically the map features a central hill, and yeah, and actually the other side has a more direct approach on the hill, whereas you have to come here from the sides, from the side we are on right now. Some water in the north, settlement in the west. This is the map Grasleben. Let me just kind of try to elegantly fly around it, more or less elegantly. Yeah, this is the map, Central Hill, towns on the sides, whereas this town is kind of like a bit far off from the circles. This one can be used for cover, maybe to attack stuff here. Yeah, this is the map Grasleben. The next map is going to be Steinbach. Let's load in. I'm recording this on 12th August. So it's 4 days till full release. Again, thank you very much to Microprose and Bird's Eye Games for providing me with this early access preview build. Okay, so this is the next map. Here you have deployment zones here next to the forest, a central town, forests on the left side, a bit more open space on the right side, and we still have some cover here, and there is some rear cover as well, some cover here, some tree lines here that could be used to provide some sort of cover. And on this map there are only two circles, basically the one which we can't see because the points have spawned here. Oh no, there's a third one as well, okay. And then there's one, kind of here, and the third one is over here. But everything is kind of like closely together. I like the idea of having those shifting zones because they you know, bring some additional dynamic. So this was Steinbach, and now let's go for Frontline. We are here on random on random weather. I really like that you can play during the night as well, and you can do like this artillery fire that actually is like on like light on parachutes. It's pretty cool.
New objective received.
So this would be Frontline. The starting zones are quite far from each other. It's a large map. So map size differs quite a bit, I think. At least it seems so. One circle is here to the right, kind of like with cover around it. You do get a central hill here. Is that a hill? I think it is a hill, right? Yeah, it is a hill. And you can also have a circle here where the zones can spawn around. And there's the third spawn zone, quite close to this spawn. And this is a bit close to this one, even though that you don't immediately have a road like here. Yeah, so this is Frontline. I'm not sure, maybe it's called Frontline because of this Frontline river. Okay, let's head to the next map. Which is Ettenhausen. It's cool that actually the map sticks here. So I was at Frontline and it still says Frontline. Ettenhausen next.
New objective received.
Alright, this is Ettenhausen. It's a rather open map with a town in the center, some towns and hills around as well, and patches of wood. Suitable for tank combat in particular, I think. And yeah, you get a circle here, one here, and one here. It's kind of like a bit on this side of, like in the center, there's like a roads going around, and in the center is where you get the spawns for the zones. Okay. Let's go to the next one, which is Runway. It's loading. Yeah, it's cool that they always show you tips at the bottom.
New objective received.
So then, 2 spawn points kind of next to this main road, and as the title of the map suggested, there's actually an airport, and there are even some planes here. The airport is surrounded by woods, and the airport is one possible spawn zone for those occupation zones for the objectives. Then there's one here where we currently have the objectives, and then there's one here on the other side. Also a very interesting map, surrounded here a bit by forests and stuff. This is also interesting to position units there, maybe fire on the positions from up here with tanks. So this is Runway. Next map. We still have, as you can see, quite a few to go through. Raw power. Looks like a nuclear power plant. Yeah. Here you see use X to switch mechanized infantry modes. Move mounted when you're in a hurry. Dismount when you need to use cover or utilize the entire firepower of the platoon. That's actually a
New
cool
objective
way
received.
to play, or cool way to implement that. The mounting and dismounting infantry. So 3 spawn zones here, 2 main roads, a river kind of cutting off this edge, and then a semicircle forest around the power plant. And yeah, spawn zone is kind of right next to the power plant. One is kind of focused around this alpha objective, and then it can also be further to the left, where this side will then have some forest cover, and this one side will have some tree lines at least that provide cover. And then there's still lots of open space here. Yeah. All right. Next map. Niederjassa. I wonder if some of the maps are based on like satellite images or like the actual landscape. In particular, maps that have a name like Niederjassa or to Frankfurt.
New objective received.
Okay, now it's nighttime. Yeah, so 3 spawn zones, and then there are 1, 2, 3, and obviously the 4th circle. Huge map. Lots of space here at the top. Not sure if you would actually maybe want to take some position here as the blue player to kind of deny reinforcements. In Niederjassa, small village here. Let's fly over. There's a train station. That's really cute. Yeah, in the Let's Try video I've shown you like the list of artists. There are quite a few artists have actually worked on this game, and I think it's definitely paid off because there's lots of details. Some lakes here. Maybe there's some like industrial stuff going on here, or it's like for you know, water for the fire brigade, I think. Yeah, so this is Niederjassa. Let's go to the next one, which is 5 hills. And I expect there to be 5 hills. We'll see.
New objective received.
All right, here we are. Well, this is an interesting map with the huge number of smaller settlements. There's also like a TV tower. And it's at a small airfield. More like a military airbase or civilian airport. That's also pretty cool. And you come from this side and then you go this way. You come from this side, then you go this way. You come from this side and then you go this way. And yeah, decide where to go. Cool. Nice lake here. So 1, 2, 3. I'd say 4. Maybe this one would be 5, yeah. We've got 1, 2. Yeah, it's 2 spawn zones. 3 spawn zones. Here's the 3rd one. Okay, yeah. And also 3 zones where you can deploy your units. Even with a road connection here, like a small road. And that's 5 hills. Next up, we've got Dead City. Ooh, that looks Unfortunate. Yeah, you can find the link to the Microprose Discord on the
New objective received.
Microprose website as well. So here we've got a huge hill on the left, lots of forest, kind of between our deployment zones, lake, and the central town. And all the 4 spawning zones are around this town. And there is also another train station, but look at that. Okay, they actually deployed this right next to the train. Looked, it's actually is that a train rack? Or is it a graphical issue because of the weird deployment the AI did here? And there's an enemy. Another train over here. Lots of nice details. Alright, next map. And that would be Diazoomf. Diazoomf basically means the swamp. Entrenched units are extremely hard to hit. To quickly overwhelm a defensive position, attack from close range or flank. Yeah, or artillery shells maybe. So you get 2 spawn zones. And actually the entire central area is supposed to be the swamp. There's just a small settlement here with a church. Some more settlements surrounding, and it's really good because that's an industrial district, and again there's this pond for the fire brigade, I think. So I like that. And then we get 1, 2, and 3 zones or areas where the objective zones can spawn. This is the swamp. I wonder if you actually have decreased movement in them. No. Only in the thick forest. Now we've got Großentaft. Yeah, on one YouTube channel, I've forgotten who it was, he said that it's like the core of the developer. Bird's Eye Games would be like one guy. And that would be quite impressive. Even if it's more than one guy, it's quite impressive. So 2 spawn zones very close to each other. And we basically got like a foresty hill location next to a town. Some field roads here and a main road on the other side. We've got a spawn points for the objective zones here, here and here. Alright. Next up, Hochkirche. And as the preview image indicates, there's possibly a church on a hill or something. This video is way longer than I anticipated, to be honest, but it's okay, I think. So 2 spawn zones, interesting road here, like a serpent, and then there's the church. One spawn zone is about here, a bit in the northern, on the northern side of this church. One is over here, and one is here more or less in the open, but with some cover provided by this town, the farm, and maybe these hills still a little bit. This ridge. Distance is a bit too large for tanks, I think. Yeah, because they have like what, 2,800 I think meters that they can shoot. Let's take a look at the M1. 2000 vision only, but vision doesn't mean necessarily the range. Oh, there's a range 2400 for the main gun. Then we've got lakes.
New objective received.
We get 2 spawn points and lots of lakes in the center where you have to go around, and a forest area in the center, and this is like a lake belt. And we've got one zone for objectives here, one here, and one in the forest here. This is a huge main road. It's like a motorway basically, but still they are dug in here. Yeah, that's a bit weird, but it's mechanically it obviously makes sense that they can still dig in here, I think. Yeah, okay, so that's that. Let's jump to the next map, which is going to be the mine. It's loading up.
New objective received.
So we've got 2 spawn zones. One is here on this kind of like main road next to the railway tracks. One is down here, quite close to this main road. Spawn zone here for these objective zones, one here and one here, and a 4th one here at the train station. There's quite a lot of forest up here and not that much on this side, but here is quite a lot of forest as well. Okay, next map is, I didn't actually see a mine that much. Well, let me quickly check if we can actually see that objective. I forgot to look for it. I meant to, but then forgot.
New objective received.
Yeah, here we are. There it is. This is the elevator that takes you down. Some industry, some workers. Yeah, so we've got the mine kind of right next to this objective zone. There's also like a church. Pretty cool. Okay. Next up, we've got Valet.
New objective received.
And it is a Valet, in fact. Very open on the sides. On this side, here it's a bit foresty. And then you've got 2 hills here and here. and in the center you've got the village. This obviously has an impact on line of sight, as you can see here. There are some road here. There's no road here. It's the main road here, and again with this water pond for the fire brigade. And it's a cool looking map. Here are 2 deployment zones, and the objective zones can spawn here on this hill, and in the town. I think this is a very interesting map. Next up, we've got Kremberg. Retreat your damaged platoons. Repairs are free and surviving platoons will accumulate experience. That's true. The experience is quite important.
New objective received.
Here we go. So we've got 2 spawn zones, objective zones here, here, and this one is quite far away from the blue spawn zones, but this one is very close. So the battle will shift around quite frequently. We've got a small village here, we've got a kind of farm complex-ish here, and another town here in the north. Also an interesting map with here with like ambush opportunities. Lots of small settlements and patches of woods. And then we've got Vollmerz. Entrenched units are hard to hit, yeah. And entrenchment, they entrench after 10 seconds. And mechanized infantry entrenches further after 40 seconds.
New objective received.
3 deployment zones here. Lots of patches of wood here, here, here on the hill, here, here. And then spawn zone for objectives here, and then in the town. And also next to the town, and another one outside the town. Yeah. So here you've got the kind of more open fights, and here has more opportunities for cover. There's a large chapel over here, or church over here as well. Poor people living here on the battlefield now. Then we've got Haunetal. Tal meaning valley. So maybe we get a valley sort of map.
New objective received.
So 2 deployment zones, 1, 2, 3 spawn zones for the objectives, forests on the sides, here on this side at least, curvy cover here, very open on this side. Yeah, you can jump from cover to cover over here, I think, if you look at that. Not too bad for infantry either. Really interesting map as well. Is that a river? Yeah, it's a small river. And here we go. Quit. Last but not least, we've got to Frankfurt. I will take a screenshot as well to use as a thumbnail. And yeah, let me know what you think of the game so far from your impressions, or maybe you had the chance to play it or did the playtest, one of the playtest events. So to Frankfurt we've got this kind of lake here, and we have some nice villages here and here. 2 spawn zones for or 2 deployment zones rather, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 spawn zones for the objectives. And basically, oh, that's electricity. Cool. Basically, it's kind of divided by this river or by this lake. This almost looks like a football pitch in a way. We've got some industry up here. There's even a train station. And let's take a photo with the burning landscape in the rear. Alright, screenshot. Screenshot. Okay, and I think that's it. Let me know if you have any further questions, if you want to see a specific division or something like that. And thanks a lot for watching. Until then, bye for now.